Hello everyone, welcome to Skills Build Training YouTube channel. I am Sanya and this channel is all about showing you how to become an IT pro fast. So, in today's video, we will discuss about how to use Microsoft Power Automate Desktop and I will show you with examples. So, let's get started. Power Automate Desktop provides many already pre-built actions to automate many different processes or applications out of the box. For example, you may want to automate sending an email triggered by a particular event, or you may want to extract values from an Excel spreadsheet and store them somewhere else like a database on Azure. If so, Power Automate Desktop has you covered along with hundreds of other similar actions. If an action you need does not exist, no problem either. It is easy to create one. So let's go ahead and do so. Well, the beauty of Power Automate Desktop is that not only it is completely free, but it can be 100% codeless and no coding knowledge or background is required. So in order to use Power Automate Desktop, open any of your favorite web browser and now search here for office.com. Now here you can see the application launcher and all the applications. Click here on all applications. Now here you can see different applications. Click on Power Automate. It can create workflows between your applications, files and data to automate time-consuming tasks. So click on it. Now on the leftmost side you can see here different options like create, templates, connectors. Well, I have described all of them in the video. I will share the link below here with you guys so you can watch that video and you can get the whole concepts from here. So click on create and now here on the rightmost side you can see install. By clicking on it, you can have two options, Power Automate Desktop and on-premises data gateway. So in order to install it, you just need to click it. Well, I have already installed this setup, so I'm going to open it and I'm going to show you how you can use Power Automate Desktop and how you can minimize your workload by using it. Now search here for Power Automate Desktop. Now you will see this screen here. By pressing on this new flow button, you can create new flows, while on the right side you can search for flow. If you have so many flows here, you can search for anyone here by using this search flow option. So I'm going to create a new flow. When I was exploring Power Automate Desktop, I have created these few flows. So I'm going to create a new one here by pressing this new flow option. Now here you need to give the name to the flow you want to create. Well, for the very first time, in order to give you a simple concepts about how to use Power Desktop Automate, I'm going to create a simple flow that is Excel sheet. So yes, we will be gonna do work with Excel sheet. So write down here Excel and then create. While after clicking create, another screen will pop up in front of you. Now on the left side you can see actions. There are different actions. Well, these are 300 plus actions that you can use. These are pre-built actions. All you need to do is simply select one action that you wanna perform and then perform it. You can also search for a specific action here. Let me show you a few actions. Expand the files. Here you can see you can copy file, move file, delete file, rename file, read text from file, write text to file, get file part and get temporary file. Now if I expand the folder action, then inside it you can see get files in folder, get subfolders, create folder. You can also delete folder, you can copy folder, move, rename, and there are so many different actions that you can perform related to folders. Now inside web, you can see you can download from web and you can invoke web service as well. Well, about web automation, you can extract data from web, you can launch new web browsers like Internet Explorer, Firefox, Chrome, and Microsoft Edge. Now inside email, you can retrieve email messages, you can process email messages, you can also send email messages. Now if I expand PDF, then you can extract images from a PDF file, you can extract text from PDF, you can extract PDF file pages, and you can also merge PDF files. So there are a lot of actions that you can perform. All of them are 300 plus actions that you can use. These are the pre-built actions. Now coming towards the main section, once we will select actions and perform them, it will add them to the main canvas here. There you will be able to see all these steps. Here will be the list of all actions we have done. And on the rightmost side, you can see three options. One is variables. You can pass variable into your flow, and here you can see flow variables. Whenever you will create a variable, you will find a flow variable instance here. Now coming towards the next, that is UI elements. We can add UI elements in our flows. UI elements are application objects that can be associated with web or user interface Windows actions in order to interact with them. You can also add UI elements from here. Now coming towards the last option, that is images. Basically by selecting this option, capture image, you can add images. Images can be associated with image related actions. Now here you can see, you can save your actions, you can run your actions, you can stop them, and here you can see two options. The most important one, web recorder and desktop recorder. The web recorder and desktop recorder are unified to a single Power Automate desktop recorder. Using the unified recorder, users can record both their web and desktop related activities within a single recording session. Well, if I talk about the desktop recorder, then desktop recorder in Power Automate desktop now gives all users the option to record with image recognition and optical character recognition, also known as OCR. The desktop recorder in Power Automate desktop automatically switches the recording mode to image recording whenever the user hovers over a remote desktop or Citrix window. When the user moves the mouse out of the remote desktop or Citrix window, the recording mode switches back to user interface element mode. Either you can select them and it will record and save every single action that you will perform here. Whatever you are doing, whether it is pressing some button or performing some action, you will be able to see it here. Well, I will explain it with examples later. Let's create our first flow. The first flow I'm going to create is Excel. Here you can see the Excel option, expand it. Now here you can see launch Excel. First I want to open the Excel, so you can use this option by two methods. Either select it and drag it here, and here you will see this box, or either double click on it. Here you can see few options, few parameters. The first one is launch Excel. Now here you need to tell either you want to open a new Excel document or an existing one. Well, I will go with a blank document as I'm going to show you a simplest way on how to work with PDA. Now here you can see make instance visible. Here you need to specify whether to make the Excel window visible or you want to hide it. Well, I'll go with the visible option, and here is the most important thing, the specific Excel instance for use with later Excel actions. So this is the variable that we have of Excel. So I'm going to save it here. Now coming towards the variable, here you can see our flow variable is Excel instance. So just in order to see whether it is working or not, run it. Here you can see it is working properly. It launches Excel. So now close it. Now I want to display a message when Excel launches. So in order to display a message, it is too easy to perform this action. All you need to do is search here for display message. Click on it. Now here you can see the parameters, message box title. As I'm working with Excel, so the title I'm going to give here is, and now here you need to write the message you want to display when Excel launches. Well, I want to display. Now here you can see message box icon. Here are few different options. What do you want as your box icon? None, information, question, warning, and error. Well, I'm completely okay with this one. And what do you want to show? What should be displayed on the message box? OK button, Okay, cancel, yes, no, cancel. Well, I'm perfectly fine with okay. And here you can see the default button. First button, second button, third, well, it should be first button. Now here are few other options. Keep message box always on top or close message box automatically. We should click OK and then the box will vanish. So I'm not going to select any of this. And here you can see the variable produced here is button pressed. And now save it. Now here you can see we have two flow variables. One is Excel instance for our Excel and one is button pressed for the display message. Now again run it in order to see whether it is working or not. Now here you can see you have successfully launched Excel sheet. You need to press OK and here you can see. Now close it. If you are launching Excel, we should close it as well. So go back again to your actions, go to Excel. Here you can see close Excel action. Simply drag it here. Now the Excel instance here is Excel instance. And here you have the options whether and how to save the document of this instance before closing that instance. Do not save document, save document and save document as. It is a basic concept. It is a first flow that I am going to create. So I'm perfectly fine with the option that is default. So save this option and now again run this flow. You have successfully launched Excel sheet. Hit OK. Now, if we are closing Excel, then we should get a message that our Excel have been closed successfully. So now I'm going to add a closing message here. So search here for display message. And here you need to give the same title, that is. And inside here you need to give a message. And then I'm perfectly fine with all other details. So save it. Now here you can see we have three variables. One is Excel instance, button pressed 1 and button pressed 2, as I have created two display messages. So we have two different flows for two different display messages. Now run it. Now here you can see first it launch Excel. Here you can see it launches Excel. Then it pop up a message that you have successfully launched Excel sheet. You need to hit OK. Then it close it and it give a message. You have successfully closed Excel. You need to press OK. Now coming towards our main sheet, here you can see we have our flow that we have created recently and we were working on. So that is how you can actually create a flow. Well, the new flow I'm going to create is web data extraction. As web applications are critical components of most organizations and they are commonly used to access data from servers. Most CRM and ERP platforms run web browsers, while the most popular business productivity tools are web services. Web applications are unquestionably an integral part of the technological infrastructure of most companies. So, create a flow, web data extraction, and then create it. Now to provide automation solutions for these applications, Power Automate Desktop supports all major browsers through its web automation actions. Here you can see, more precisely, it supports the handling of the following browser: Internet Explorer, Firefox, Chrome, Microsoft Edge. With such comprehensive support, users can handle any element in web pages and perform data extraction operations. Well, by the end of this module, you will be able to develop web-related flows and extract data of any type from web pages. Now, if I talk about what you will learn, you will be able to configure web automation actions. You will learn how to extract data from web pages, and you will be able to create a flow that extracts data from a particular page that you wanna extract data from. You can also launch, close, and handle browsers. Before automating web components, you have to launch a web browser to indicate which web page to load and the desired launching mode. Before automating web components, you have to launch a web browser to indicate which web page to download and the desired launching mode. Later in your flow, you can use the instance variable containing the launched browser to perform various operations through the available web actions. All these actions accept similar input parameters and function virtually in the same way. Inside the actions, you can set the initial URL of the browser and the desired state of the window. Well, in order to fetch data from web, Power Automate Desktop extension must be available on that browser. So that's how we will be able to fetch data from web using Power Automate Desktop. So for that, click on Tools. From here you can see the option Browser Extensions, and here you can select your favorite browser where you want to extend Power Automate Desktop. Well, I'll go with the Google Chrome. Now I have already added the extension. If you want to add it, you can simply add it. Now open another tab, and from here you can select the web page from which you want to fetch the data. Well, right here Amazon.in. Now here you can search for the data you want to extract. Well, I'm willing to extract the description and the prices of these toy cars. So go back to your flow. Now here you need to launch new Chrome. Here you need to give the initial URL of the web page from which you want to extract data. So go back to your web page, copy it and paste it here. Now here you can see Windows state. You have three options: normal, maximized, minimized. I'm going to select the maximized option. Now coming towards the advanced, here you need to specify whether to clear the entire cache of the web browser right after launching it, or here you can clear the cookies in the web browser right after launching it. Specify whether to wait for the new web page to download or not. Now what if a pop-up message or a pop-up dialog appears? What should the Windows do? Close it, press a button and do nothing. Well, go with the do nothing option, and here you can select the timeout and save it. Now just in order to see whether it is working properly or not, run it. Here you can see it launches the web browser, so it is working perfectly fine. Now after launching new Chrome, go to web data extraction, and from here extract data from web page, as we need to extract data from a web page. Now here you can see the browser instance is browser, and now go to the page from where you wanna fetch data. Now here you can see live web helper. Whatever you will get from here, whatever you will extract from this web page, it will be recorded there. You can see this red rectangular box, which means that the data will be extracted from here and it will be recorded there. Let's suppose I need this description. Right click on it. Here you can see extract element value, and here text, select it. It will select the description, and now I need the price as well. Right click on it, extract element value and text. Here you can see value 1 is the description while value 2 is the price. Select this one as well. Right click, extract element value and text, and now here right click, text. Now as you can see, Power Automate Desktop is intelligent enough. It extracted all the data of this particular web page along with its price. Now finish it. Now here you can see the option store data mode. Either you want it a variable or you want to store your data in Excel spreadsheet. Well, I want to store my data in Excel spreadsheet, so click on it. Now here you can see the variable produced is Excel instance, and now save it. Now as I have launched the browser, I should close it as well. So here you can see close web browser action, double click on it and then save it. Now if I am extracting data from web page and I am putting it in Excel, so I should close the Excel as well. So go to Excel and then close Excel. Here you can change the settings according to your need. Well, I'm going to choose it as save document as. Here I need to give the document format, that is Excel workbook.xlsx, and here the document path. Select a folder here, and here I need to give the name to the file, that is web data extraction. Now save it. Now just run this application once so you can get an idea of how it is working. Now here you can see it launches the Google Chrome, and now it is fetching the data. Now it is storing it in Excel. So let's see whether the data is stored in Excel or not. Here you can see I have all the data related to the web page that I have extracted using Power Automate Desktop. Now I am pretty sure that you are able to fetch data from any web browser, any web page. Now create another flow, that is calculator. I will show you how you can launch this application and how you can work with it. In this particular flow, I will show you how to capture UI elements as well. Let's choose for our first action to run application and set it to open the calculator app, as I want to launch an application and using desktop recorder in order to capture UI elements. Search here for applications and here you can see run application. Now it is asking for application path. Now here you need to give the path of the calculator. Well, I'm perfectly fine with all other settings. Here you can see the variable produced by this is application process ID and save it. Now just in order to see whether it is working properly or not, run it. Now here you can see it launched calculator, so it is working perfectly fine. Now I want to capture some UI elements using desktop recorder, so click on it. Now start recording. Now whatever action I will perform here, it will be recorded there. So select 5. Here you can see press button in window and the button that I have pressed is 5. Now plus, press button in window, button plus 8. Here you can see it is recording my each and every single action, and now hit equal to. Here you can see 5 plus 8 is equal to 13, and here it is showing me all the actions that I have performed. So now finish it. Now here you can see all the actions that I have performed using desktop recorder. Now if I wanna run it here, then just run it. And here you can see 5 plus 8 equal to 13. So that is how it is working, and that is how you can capture UI elements. Coming towards the UI element, you can see here all the UI elements that I have used and I have recorded using desktop recorder. You can also add new UI element either by again using desktop recorder or either by using this add UI element option. Click on it. Click on any option, let's suppose 6, and then press Ctrl and then click on it. Here you can see the option and then press done, and here you can see another UI element has been added. You can also replace it with 5 or 8 either here. So all I need to do is I need to replace it with 5. So click on it and now click on it. Here you can replace it with button 6. Select and then save. Now again run it. Here you can see 6 plus 8 is equal to 14. So that is how you can actually add UI element using the UI element option. And now if I talk about the flow variable, then the flow variable here is app process ID. Save this flow. Using Power Automate Desktop to automate applications, UI is one of its most useful features, either directly working with non-application elements or recording interactions and then allowing you to customize key elements. Desktop applications and tools don't have the same API-based development model as modern distributed applications, so any automation needs to fill forms and press buttons for you. Start by recording an application and using that as the framework for an automation. Once you have captured the interactions you want to use from an application, you can start to replace content with variables as I have shown you right now. Now I'm going to create a flow in which I'm going to show you how you can extract data from a PDF file and how you can extract images from a PDF file. So create a new flow. Here you need to write the name of the flow. I'm going to write and then create it. Now here you can find for PDF. You can see PDF is here. So expand it. Here you can see extract images from PDF, extract text from PDF, extract PDF files, pages to new PDF file and merge PDF files. Now if I wanna extract images from a PDF file, then I'm going to use this function, but before that let me show you a file. Here you can see I have created a file with PDF data extraction name, and inside it I have two PDF files. The one is PAD Power Automate Desktop, in which there is some text, while in another file you can see here there is some text and few images here. So from this file I will extract images, and from the another file I will extract data. So close it. Now double click on this action, extract images from PDF. We see the parameters. First it is asking for the PDF file from which I want to extract images. So from here I will select a file. I know that my file is in document folder, and from here PDF data extraction. This is the file in which I have some images and the text. So I'm going to select it, and now here I need to specify how many pages to extract. Well, for the first time I'll select all pages. Here I need to give the name of the image. Let's suppose I'm giving the name as image, and here I need to tell where I want to save images. So from here select the folder. Now inside documents go to PDF data extraction, and here I want to create a new folder, and then OK. In advanced, if a file is password protected, then I need to give password. Leave this if the PDF file is not password protected. Well, I'm leaving it blank, and then save it. Now here you can see our flow has been created. So I'm going to run this flow in order to see whether it is working or not. Now here you can see here is another folder with extracted images. Now open it, and here you can see all the images that were available in my PDF file. So that is how you can basically extract images. Now minimize it and again open it. This time I'm going to select pages. Well, I'm going to select single page, and if I need to give the page number, here you can see I have 7 pages, and on page 1 this is the image. So I'm going to give page number as page 1 and then save. Now I'm going to run it. Let's see. Now inside this extracted images you can see the image 0. Now close it. Now here you can give page range as well. From page 2 to page 5 I need all the images, and image name is image, and save it. Now run it. Now open this extracted images. Here you can see I got all the 4 images within the selected range. Now I'm going to use this file in which I have written some text. Now in order to get text from a PDF file, you can use this action, extract text from PDF, and here the parameters are you need to select the PDF file from which you want to get text. So inside document this is the PDF data extraction, and this is the file from which I want to get data, and here I need to give the pages from which I want to extract text. Well, I want to extract text from all pages as it is a single page document, and then save it. Now if I run it, where I will get the data, where I can see the text from this PDF. For that you need to search here, write text to file, double click on it, and here you need to give the file path. So I'm going to save this document where my data is already saved, and I will give the name as text extraction, and then I will save it. Now here I need to write text to write. Here I will give the name of this file, that is extracted PDF text, from where I want to get this data, and I will start and close it with %, and now save it. Now run this action. Here you can see text extraction file is here, and I'm pretty sure it has extracted all the text from the PAD PDF file. So let's see. I'm going to open it using Notepad, and here you can see it has extracted all the text from the PAD Power Automate Desktop PDF file. So that is how you can extract data and images from PDF file using Power Automate Desktop. Well, you can also merge PDF files, and you can extract PDF file pages to new PDF file as well. I will leave it up to you. I'm pretty sure you have an idea now how to deal with PDF files. So now I'm going to create a flow in which I will tell you how you can retrieve messages from mail. So create a flow here. Here you need to give the name to the flow. Let's suppose the name is retrieve mails and then create it. Now inside these actions, you can see here the Outlook action. You need to expand it. Here you can see the first action is launch Outlook and create a new Outlook instance. So now I will select it and drag it here. Here you can see the variable produced by creating this Outlook instance is Outlook instance, the specific Outlook instance for use with later Outlook actions. So I'm going to save it. Now I'm going to retrieve email messages from an Outlook account. So double click on it. Now here you can see the Outlook instance is the same that we have created just now by launching Outlook. Now here I need to give the account detail, the account from which I want to retrieve mails. Now here in my Outlook account, you can see this is the account detail. So I'm going to write down it here. Now in mail folder, we need to write the name of the folder to retrieve messages from. So I want to retrieve messages from inbox. So you need to write here inbox. Now here you need to specify whether to retrieve all messages in the folder or only the unread ones. Well, I want to retrieve all messages and then save it. Now I'm going to find here for each loop, like for every single message, I'm going to use it. Now here I need to write the value I want to iterate. Enter a list data row or data table value to iterate through it. So I'm going to select the retrieved email as I want to iterate over it and then save it. Now inside it, I want to display a message. So display message. Now here I'm going to write Outlook mail message, and now here under current item from whom I'm getting the message, and then I'm going to save it. Now here you can see I have 4 variables: button pressed, current item, Outlook instance and retrieve emails. Now I'm going to run this action. I got a message from this mail, from this mail, from this mail. Now there are so many different mails from different accounts. So I'm not going to show you one by one as there are many in number. So that is how you can basically retrieve mail from your Outlook, close it and save it. The flow retrieve mail saved successfully. I hope you have enjoyed this video and this video somehow helped you to clear the concept about Power Automate Desktop and how you can use it, how you can create flow using it, and how you can minimize your workload. Well, some applications are hard to automate and others like Windows subsystem for Linux are not yet supported. However, putting the tool in Windows shows commitment on Microsoft's part, and it will be interesting to watch how it updates and how it supports not only knowledge and task workers but also developer and operations workflows. Although it is possible to share Power Automate desktop flows with other users, if you have a premium account, you are really using it now to build personal tools. We all have our ways of working built around our personal workflows. Well, Power Automate Desktop offers a way to turn those applications into a true chain where the output of one application drives the input of another. It brings the cloud's distributed event-driven programming model to the desktop using the Windows user interface as a universal API. With Power Automate Desktop set to be a part of Windows, it is worth downloading now, automating away small and repetitive tasks that get in the way of creative work. So that's it for today. If you have any queries, reach out to us in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. I'll see you in the next video.